Camp politics is intensifying, NATO is huddling, Russia is betting on China. All of this makes India's position very difficult. How much longer can neutrality work? Think back to February 24th, when Russia invaded. India had two priorities: A, evacuate Indian citizens stuck in Ukraine, and B, navigate the great power rivalry. The first priority has been completed. Indian nationals are back home safe. But the second task is trickier. On one side, you have Russia, a long-standing strategic partner. On the other side is America, India's best bet to counter China. So New Delhi decided to remain neutral, to pursue dual tracks. Now, here's the problem with neutrality. If it fails, you end up with no support, neither from Russia nor from America. That is the real worry for India. Take Russian oil, for instance. America has stopped buying Russian oil. Europe is reducing dependence, or so it says. So Russia is hoping that India will step up. Russia has offered discounted oil to India, and reports say India has taken that offer. The Indian Oil Corporation has purchased 3 million barrels of Russian oil. Technically, there's nothing illegal about it. Russian oil is not a sanctioned commodity. Plus, India needs the cheaper energy. The only worry was the American response. How would Washington respond? Would Washington object to New Delhi's purchase? Here's how the White House responded.
Well, our message to any country continues to be that obviously abide by the sanctions, but that we have put in place and recommended. I don't believe this would be violating that, but also think about where you want to stand when the history books are written in this moment in time.
That's classic American response. History will judge you, they say. Has history judged America yet for Iraq or for Libya? The fact is, every country is pursuing its national interest. India needs cheaper oil. Russia offered cheaper oil, so naturally the deal happened. And India is not alone. Europe is buying Russian oil. It is trading with Russia. More than 40% of their natural gas comes from Russia. These imports are worth millions of dollars. On the 2nd of March, well after the invasion, Europe paid $755 million to Russia. That's a single day's payment, $755 million. Is Europe also on the wrong side of history then? And if yes, why is Biden heading to Brussels next week? Why is he conferring with European states? Buying Russian oil is not the problem for India. The problem is the politics. India's neutrality was supposed to be the best of both worlds. America brings deterrence against China. Russia brings leverage. You get the best. Basically a win-win for India. But are things playing out as planned? America is still betting on China's help. They want China to isolate Russia. It fits with Joe Biden's campaign commitments. He wants competition with China, not conflict. So Biden is investing political capital into negotiating with China, and that is not good news for India. What's worse, Biden's Pacific pivot has lost momentum. Suddenly, all the focus is on Europe. New weapons for NATO, new deployments for NATO. The Indo-Pacific has taken a backseat. And for India, this could be a problem. If America gets bogged down in Europe, it is advantage China. There will be no hope of American deterrence, which brings us to India's second hope, Russia. Russia's leverage. Can Vladimir Putin temper Xi Jinping's belligerence? Well, that depends on how strong Russia's position is. Let's consider two scenarios. Number one, China is 100% committed to helping Putin. Xi Jinping props up the Russian economy. He helps Russia evade sanctions. In that case, Putin will be indebted to Xi Jinping. What kind of leverage can he bring then? Will those Russian weapons continue to pour into India? That's if China backs Russia completely. Scenario number two, China's support to Russia remains lukewarm, like it is right now. Politically, they support Putin, but financially, they dump him. If that happens, America is going to be happy. Russia's economy will bleed, and that's good news for Biden. Not so much for India, though. If China cools off on Russia, they will need something in return, a bargain in the Indo-Pacific, perhaps. Where does that leave India, then? Not in a desirable position. Just think about it. America is dumping allies all over the place. Last year, they dumped Afghanistan. No consultations with India. No concern for regional security. They just packed up and fled. Russia did no better in Ukraine. They were planning to invade all along. They knew 20,000 Indians were living in Ukraine, yet there was no intimation from Russia, none that we know of. Even during evacuation, Ukraine did most of the heavy lifting. Russia was busy peddling fake news. So India must ask itself this question: have we bet on the wrong powers? America is still hoping for China's tacit help. Quad has too many agendas, but no endgame. They won't even name China for that matter. As for Russia, they're finished without China's help. How does India navigate this dilemma? One option is to go it alone. Reports say China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi will visit India later this month. Remember, the standoff in Ladakh has not been diffused. More than 50,000 Chinese soldiers are camping near the line of actual control, and that is India's most pressing priority. If talks prevail in Ukraine, it would boost India's position. But what if the war drags on? Then bloc politics will intensify. Either way, the war in Ukraine will force a rethink in India. Who do we count on? Who will walk the talk? Simply put, it's a strategic reality check for New Delhi. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.